Students, Namaskar. Welcome in online learning process. Today from the topic of electrostatics, we will discuss about capacitors and capacitance, types of capacitors, capacitors in series and parallel. व्हिडिओ पूर्ण बघून झाला की व्हिडिओच्या आणि पुस्तकाच्या मदतीने सर्व कन्सेप्ट्स, डेफिनेशन्स, डेरिव्हेशन्स आत्मसात करण्याचा प्रयत्न करावा. पुन्हा एकदा प्रत्येक व्हिडिओच्या स्टार्टिंग पॉईंटला या आणि डायग्राम बघून सगळे आठवण्याचा व क्विक रिव्हिजन करण्याचा प्रयत्न करावा. यासाठीच मी प्रत्येक व्हिडिओच्या सुरुवातीला डायग्राम किंवा फॉर्म्युले इन्सर्ट केलेले आहेत.
Now let us discuss about capacitor and capacitance. Capacitor, it is simple device which is used for storing charges. It is system of two charge conductors separated by an insulator. Now see here, these two are the plates, plate 1 and plate 2, or these are conductors on which positive and negative charges are there. Now here we have to define capacitance, and to define this capacitance, now once again focus here. This is conductor 1 or plate 1 on which positive charge is there, whose potential is V1. On plate 2 or conductor 2, negative charge is there, whose potential is V2. And this V is nothing but the potential difference V1 minus V2 between them. Now what is this potential difference? It is nothing but work done to bring unit positive test charge from one conductor to other conductor against this electric field. However, when these charges are increasing, work done also goes on increasing. This means potential difference increases. Therefore, we can say that as Q increases, V will be increased. This means V is proportional to Q, or we can say that this Q upon V is always constant.
Q is directly proportional to V. When we have to remove this proportionality sign, we have to introduce one constant, and this constant is C, where this C is called as capacitance, which is ratio of Q and V. By formula, you can define it very easily. Now here this capacitance is nothing but it is measure of the extent to which capacitor can store the charge. But the exact definition we can write down from this formula only. Try yourself, do it yourself, write it. It is defined as ratio of electric charge on each conductor to the potential difference between them. By formula, we can write it very easily. This capacitance, it depends on size, shape and separation of the system of two conductors. You can remember few forms of this. Q is equal to CV, or C is Q by V, or V is Q by C. Remember, C is the capacitance, Q is the charge and V is the voltage. Unit, dimensions and symbol of the capacitance. Unit is farad, which is written as capital F. Now we can define 1 farad from formula. From formula it is very easy to define any quantity. So this definition is nothing but capacitance of the capacitor is said to be 1 farad when the charge of 1 coulomb and potential difference between the conductor is 1 volt, means 1 coulomb, 1 volt and 1 farad. You have to remember it like this. Now dimensions, these are the dimensions. If you will not remember these, then you must know how to find out these dimensions. For this, I think in the very first lecture we already discussed about this, but once again, from formula you have to start. C is equal to Q by V. Further, this Q is nothing but IT, while this V, that is potential, is work done per unit charge. Next to this, again this Q is nothing but IT. Now rearrange, you will get this final form. After this, write down dimensions. I as A, small t as capital T, and dimensions of work we know. That's why substitute. Rearrange. You will get final dimensions. That is, you can write down it from formula, even you can write it from the unit also. Now see sub multiple units. You need these units when you will solve some problems. 1 microfarad is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 farad, or 1 nanofarad is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 farad, or 1 picofarad is equal to 10 raised to minus 12 farad, means 10 raised to minus 6 or 10 raised to minus 9 or 10 raised to minus 12. These are the conversion factors. We can say it like this. And this is the symbol of capacitor. Principle of capacitor. See what is this? Let us consider this plate or conductor P1 on which positive charges are deposited. V1 is the potential and total charge is Q. We can define it here. So plus Q is the charge which is given to the plate P1. Due to this, the potential is V1 and capacity C1 which is given by Q divided by V1 by basic definition. Now, when more and more charges are given to this plate P1, potential goes on increasing. But as potential increases, it is very dangerous to handle such a large charge. Therefore, by placing an identical earth connected plate near to it, more and more charges are at lower value of potential should be done. This arrangement is called as capacitor. I will explain this using this diagram. Imagine this is our original plate P1 on which positive charges are there. We have to place another identical plate, but it is connected to the earth, means outer surface is connected to the earth to reduce potential, and here this arrangement is called as capacitor. So capacity of plate increased by placing an identical earth connected plate near to it. In this way we can describe principle of this capacitor.
Now let us see how actually it works. Once again we will consider same plate P1 on which positive charges are deposited. These are Q. Due to this, V1 is the potential on plate P1 and the capacitance is given by Q upon V1. If we will keep another plate P2 near to the plate P1, what will happen? Negative charges will induced to the nearer face and positive charges will induce to the farther face of P2. म्हणजेच या जवळच्या साईडला निगेटिव्ह चार्जेस इंड्यूस्ड होतील आणि ह्या दूरच्या साईडला पॉझिटिव्ह चार्जेस इंड्यूस्ड होतील. बरोबर आहे. त्याच्यामुळे काय होईल बघा, ड्यू टू निगेटिव्ह चार्जेस ऑन P2 potential difference on P1 will be reduced. ह्या P1 वरचा पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स या निगेटिव्ह चार्जेसमुळे काय होईल? रिड्यूस होईल. आणि ह्या पॉझिटिव्ह चार्जेसमुळे P1 वरचा पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स वाढेल. ऑन द अदर हँड, पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज ऑन P2 will increase potential difference on P1.
Though on plate P2, negative charge is to the near side and positive charge is to the far side of this plate P1, the negative charge on plate P2 will have more impact. That's why if outer surface of plate P2 is connected to the earth, the induced positive charge flows to the earth. This means if this outer surface is connected to the earth, these positive charges will vanish. See, this is the situation. That's why here no positive charges are shown. Imagine due to these negative charges, V2 will be the potential. It is written here, V2 is the potential due to negative charges on plate P2. V1 is the potential due to positive charges on plate P1. Now, initially the potential was V1. Now, due to these negative charges, the potential is reduced by this much factor. So, net potential is V1 minus V2. From this, what conclusion you will draw? Yes, think about this. You can say that due to negative charge, potential is reduced. We can write down final formula for capacity due to this system is C2, which is Q upon V2. Now see here, by this arrangement, what is happening? See equation number 1, capacity C2 due to this system is Q by V1 minus V2. This is due to what? Due to the earth connected plate P2 near to plate P1. And in this second equation, C1 is equal to Q by V1. This is capacity due to only single plate P1. Now compare denominator of this equation number 1 and denominator of this equation number 2. Yes, compare it yourself and what conclusion you will draw. Yes, tell me. Now see in this case, in equation number 1, denominator is less by this much factor with respect to the denominator of equation number 2. Means this denominator is less than this denominator, and as denominator is less, what we can say, final value goes on increasing, yes or no? So this C2 is more than C1, means by this arrangement we can increase capacity of the parallel plate capacitor, and this is only the principle, yes or no? To reduce the potential and to increase the charges, that is to increase the capacity. In this way we can verify or we can explain about principle of parallel plate capacitor. Types of capacitor, mainly there are three. One is the parallel, second is the cylindrical, and third one is a spherical capacitor. In parallel plate capacitor, two plates are parallel. On one plate, positive charges are given. On the inner surface of other plate, negative charges are induced, while on the outer surface, positive charges are there. These positive charges are moving to the earth as it is connected to the earth. In cylindrical capacitor, there are two cylinders. This one is the inner cylinder, and outer surface of this inner cylinder, positive charges are there. Due to this, on the inner surface of outer cylinder, negative charges are induced and positive charges are induced on the outer surface of outer cylinder. These positive charges are moving to the earth as it is connected to the earth. Similarly, in spherical capacitor, there are two spheres. It is inner sphere. On the outer surface of this inner sphere, positive charges are deposited. Then, on the inner surface of outer sphere, negative charges are induced and positive charges are on the outer surface of outer sphere. So, these positive charges are moving to the earth as it is connected to the earth. Like this, you can discuss about these three types of capacitor. Capacitors in series. See, in series combination, what is happening? Right plate of one capacitor is connected to the left plate of other capacitor, and end plates are connected to the battery like this. This is the right side of one, this is the left side of other, or here right side of one, left side of other, and these two ends, this one and this one, it is connected to the battery. This is how we can say series combination of capacitors, one after another, like this we can say. Now in this case you have to remember, as series combination is there, charges on each plate is same or current is same. This is the key point. While potential V is divided in three, V1, V2 and V3. These two are the main key points in this combination. So first we will write down this V is equal to sum of these three potentials, where V1 is potential across first capacitor, V2 is potential across second capacitor and V3 is potential across third capacitor. Then this is the CS, that is effective capacitance of this series combination, and across this V is there. So this is the final diagram. Next to this, as this CS is effective, we have to find out formula for this effective capacitance. For this purpose, what we have to do? Now see here, as V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3, by this basic relation, V is equal to Q by C, you can write down Q by C is equal to Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3. Here this Q and to the right hand side Q is there, it is common and it is cancelled. That's why this is the final formula for reciprocal of effective capacitance is sum of reciprocal of each capacitance. Like this you can draw the conclusion, and if n capacitors are there, then we can write down 1 upon C is equal to 1 upon C1 plus up to 1 upon Cn. By this formula you can find out effective resistance in case of series combination of the number of capacitors. See, in this figure also it is indicated. Like this you can prove 1 upon C is equal to right hand side. This may be question for 2 or 3 marks. Capacitors in parallel. See, this is the diagram. As per this we have to write down description, that is in parallel combination. One end of all plates are connected to the common terminal A. Finally this is joined to the battery, while other ends are connected to the common terminal B, then to the battery, and it is earth. Now here these ends, this end or this end or this end, it is joined to common terminal A, while these other ends, this one or this one or this one, it is joined to B, and C finally it is earth. As per this you have to write down description. Now in this case you have to remember V is same for all capacitors since it is parallel combination, while total charge is distributed on each, on C1 or C2 or C3. So as the potential difference is same and charge is distributed, we can write down Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, where Q1, Q2 and Q3, these are the charges on first, second and third capacitors respectively. Finally we have to substitute, as C is equal to Q by V, Q is equal to CV. From this relation we can substitute this Q as Cp into V, while Q1 is C1 into V, like this C2 into V and C3 into V, where Cp is equivalent capacitance or effective capacitance. Now in this case again V and V will get cancelled by taking common, and finally we will get this relation Cp is equal to simply sum of capacities of all. Very simple, in 2 steps only you will get this formula. Finally, if there are n capacitors, then also we can write down C equivalent or C total is sum of capacity of all, that is n. Using this formula you can find out effective capacitance. Clear? You may refer this figure also. This is only for reference purpose. Now see clear difference between capacitors in series and parallel. In series, potential difference is shared between capacitors, while total charge is always same and total capacitance is less than the individual capacitances. While in parallel, potential difference is same while total charges are shared, or it is sum of all charges, and total capacitance is sum of all individual capacitances. And in case of series, The capacitors are connected one after another, while this is the effective capacitance and this is the formula. While in parallel, one end of all capacitors are connected to the common terminal. This is the effective and this is the formula for C total. In short, you will remember, in series V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3, while in parallel V is same. In case of series, Q is always same, while in case of parallel, Q is sum of charges. About capacitors, some information is given here. Read it carefully and try to understand. Thanks for watching this. Thank you very much. Be positive and wait for the next video.